Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you, Frank, for this very kind introduction. I'm so pleased to see so many familiar faces in the audience and to welcome all of you here tonight on this very special occasion. As most of you may know, we have been counting down to this moment for almost 6 years since I set my sights on what back then seemed like an unrealistic and even unattainable goal. In 2012, I looked at the 60 million young children who were out of school and said, we must act. These children came from the most marginalized, most vulnerable communities in the world. Many had been displaced due to conflict, others were refugees, some were fleeing poverty or natural disasters, and none of them were in school. I thought, what if we could gather partners from around the world and work together to provide a quality education for even 10% of these out-of-school children? Experts told me that educating 6 million children would be impossible, but I refused to believe it. One advisor told me to set a goal that was more realistic. I thought I heard him say optimistic. So I set a goal of 10 million. Well, my friends, 10 million is a very, very large number, especially when we are talking about 10 million individual boys and girls, each with their own life stories and with their own special challenges. Thanks to the efforts of our Educated Child program and our many global partners, I am proud to announce tonight that we have reached our impossible, our unattainable, and our completely unrealistic objective. 10 million previously out-of-school children will now receive a quality education. I want to thank everyone here and all of you who made this possible. And I'd like to share with you what I think this achievement means. At Educated Child, we believe that every child has the right to a quality education. We further believe that education is as necessary to human life as food, water, or shelter. And we believe that education is the most powerful tool ever invented for unlocking human potential. Now, there are those who say, yes, education is important. But first, we must pave the roads. We must train doctors or build houses. Yes, I know there are competing priorities. But I say, give me 10 reasons why educating the world's out-of-school children can wait, and I'll give you 10 million reasons why it can't. Today, because of what we have accomplished together, 10 million children will have an opportunity to expand their intellectual horizons. One day, some of them might even make it to Columbia or Stanford or Harvard. They will have a chance to acquire the kinds of skills that can lead to quality jobs. They will contribute to their communities. They will be able to support families. And they will pass along the benefits of their education to their own children. And I believe they will make our world a better place for all of us. Ladies and gentlemen, I have seen with the transformative power of education with my own eyes in places like Bangladesh, Palestine, Turkey, Sudan, Brazil, and Kenya. I have watched as schools were built from scratch and abandoned buildings turned into classrooms. I have seen children mastering computer skills on refurbished laptops. and they have listened to lessons taught under the shade of a tree and homework done by candlelight. The desire to learn is one of the most powerful forces of human nature, and it is in every child. Helping children fulfill their innate desire is the responsibility of us all. Tonight, 10 million more children will have the opportunity to learn. One of them might become the next Oprah Winfrey, or even next Stephen Hawking. My friends, we did not achieve this remarkable goal by snapping our fingers or writing checks. We had to figure out a way to take a variety of models for local education delivery based on partnerships and multi-sector solutions, and scale them up from the community level to programs of global size and scope. We reached out to private sector for unique expertise and much needed resources. We worked with government ministries, public agencies, development banks, and community groups. We worked with NGOs, big and small. We worked with great multinational organizations like UNICEF, experts in child development. Since this project began, Educate a Child has participated in 82 partnerships across 50 countries. Together, we have leveraged a $1.8 billion investment, a third of it, I am proud to say, from the government of Qatar. It has been a true global effort. Along the way, we identified the most significant obstacles to education for the world's marginalized and vulnerable children. Some of these obstacles were obvious: a lack of classrooms, teachers, or textbooks. But some were uniquely challenging. How do you make the journey to school safe for girls and boys who need to cross flooded rivers or walk through wild forests? How do you put a classroom in a refugee camp? How do you gain the trust of neighborhood leaders who are suspicious of outsiders? How do you entice boys and girls to come back to school that had been bombed? To educate 10 million out-of-school children, we needed to learn all of these things and so much more. Fortunately, we had help, especially from our partners, many of whom are with us tonight. Without your help, we could not have achieved our goal. And there is one special partner I need to mention here, that is the parents of these out-of-school children. Their determination to secure a quality education for their daughters and sons, despite the obstacles and the hazards, has been moving and uplifting. In many cases, I would say that it was the key ingredient in our success. Over the next 5 years, Educate a Child will work to expand our existing programs and implement new ones. We'll take what we have learned and apply it to the new challenges we face. Going forward, our efforts require more than money and good intentions. We must remember, the world is not a safe place yet, and the number of out-of-school children is growing. But that should not discourage us from pursuing our goal. Educating these children will require real commitment from governments, from the private sector, and from the international community. It will take all of our courage, our strength, and our resilience. Educate a Child and its partners have shown the way. Now it's time for all of us to redouble our efforts to educate the world's remaining out-of-school children. Millions millions of children are still waiting in desperate need of our help. Let's work together to ensure a better future for all of them and for the world we share. Believe me, it is possible. Now, I can see my friends, an educated child, Dr. Mazen, Fahad, rolling their eyes and asking themselves, does she ever stop? My friends, the answer is no. But tonight, let's take time to celebrate our achievements, and tomorrow we act on our commitment. Thank you.